from 7 to 8 p.m. highlights of local sports around the Cayman Islands. Sports Extra.
It's amazing to see the improvement of the team.
Sports Extra, keeping you informed.
Good evening and welcome to Radio Cayman's Sports Extra for this evening. I'm your host, Dionne Anglin, and tonight on Sports Extra we will be chatting with Excel Sports Management, or ESM as you know them, Coach Chelsea Brown. She's here along with ESM players Jonathan Mitchell, and he's of the under-12 team that recently went to the Iber Cup in Portugal. What an experience. And Charles Russell of the under-10 team that also went to the Iber Cup tournament, right? In Portugal. Portugal, all the way in Portugal. Yeah. All right. Good evening. Come. Say good evening.
Good evening.
You got supporters and fans and listeners. They're waiting to hear your beautiful voices. Say hello.
Hello.
All right. I like that. In the second segment, we will hear from SEBA's president, Colin Anglin, on the under-23 boys and girls. They're heading off to Mexico next week for the under-23 3x3 Nations League. Yeah, it's the Nations League. It's a new format for Cayman for basketball worldwide. You know, we're used to 5-on-5, but now it's 3x3. It's also an Olympic sport, so Cayman is trying their best to get their foot in the door, right? Also, Jason Campbell, better known to many as Janez, all right, one of our musicians. He's I think he's a promoter and organizer of the House of Handles basketball camp, which is featuring street legend and One's Hot Sauce. If you've never heard of Hot Sauce, you have a chance to Google him now. He's an amazing point guard. Great handles. No one in the NBA at this point can touch him. Listen, to be honest, I don't know if he still has those handles. It's been 20 years. So we shall see.
We'll see.
Well, he's hosting a camp, right? So I'm sure he still got it. I'm sure he has kept his handles oiled. Yeah?
Right.
So that camp begins this Friday at the King Sports Center. The one and only Hot Sauce is going to be in the Cayman Islands. So, you know, if you kids want to get involved, you can. All right, just don't get injured because you can't blame basketball.
Right.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Please don't.
All right, we're gonna shoot it back to the studio for a quick commercial break, and to hear a word from our sponsor. All right, stay tuned.
A caring and community spirit, cherished family and cultural values. These are some of the things that still embodies the Caymanian way of life in the Eastern Districts today. Savannah Pharmacy, your neighborhood pharmacy, located in Countryside Shopping Village, is delighted to offer products and services of real value. Whether it's catering to your family's medical needs or carrying apparel, gifts, and beauty products, Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they're always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
Prescription refills made easy at Savannah Pharmacy. WhatsApp your prescription refills to 929-5045.
If you're a parent, you know that providing your child with a quality early childhood education can be expensive. However, the Ministry of Education offers financial assistance through its Early Childhood Assistance Program to help qualifying Caymanian families cover the costs at registered early childhood settings. Visit our online application portal at moeapplications.gov.ky to learn more and get started. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Education.
Social media, X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Interact with our talk shows on YouTube. Download our official Radio Cayman app, or you can log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky. You can also add us to WhatsApp
on 925-3261.
All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Radio Cayman. Shaken yet standing firm. This is Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Alrighty, here we go. Here we are with Chelsea Brown, Jonathan Mitchell, and Charles Russell of ESM. Lady and gentlemen, how are you?
I'm
Good.
good, thanks.
We're
Yeah?
good.
You good? Yeah. What's up with you? You were just saying to me off the mic that you haven't been here in a very long time.
Yeah.
She was here the last time when Nikolai Hill hosted the show.
Yeah. And also last year too.
And last year?
Yeah,
You-
for USA Cup. We spoke about USA Cup as well. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well then you were. Well then that
That's
Nikolai's,
it.
Nikolai's out the door. Then.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So you guys recently went to the Iber Cup in Portugal, huh?
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was great.
You were telling me that it was humid and sometimes cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. It was more like a windy than a cold.
It was more windy.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, I like windy more than like hot.
Okay. All right. What about you, Jonathan?
In my opinion, I would like to play in more of a cold type of area
You would?
instead of a hot area because, in my opinion, in a cold area, you don't need as much water, but sometimes your lungs can start to burn, and that's it.
Yeah. And no matter what, if you're executing as much as I'm sure you guys were in the field, your body still needs water no matter how cold it is.
Definitely.
So you think your body's tricking you to think you don't need the water, but you will get dehydrated quicker if you don't drink the water. It's cooler, but your body still needs the water. Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about the Iber Cup. What was the most exciting moment for you guys at this Iber Cup?
Probably scoring goals
Oh, I'm sure.
and celebrating with
How many did
teammates.
you score?
I scored 1 or
You-
2. I don't know.
You don't know.
I think it was
come on
2.
Okay, there
Yeah,
you go.
two.
Give me a solid number. I like that. What about you, Jonathan?
I scored 1.
You scored 1 goal. Amazing. What was that feeling like for you?
It was a great feeling.
Your adrenaline rush. Just felt
I
excited.
loved it, and when I scored, I just wanted to run up and down and shout, but I had to realize I was in a game.
Awesome.
So I had to keep my, emotions in until after the game.
You didn't want to show off too much, huh? Is that
Yes, ma'am.
that is that delicate balance? Should I scream and shout, or should I just play it cool? Like, yeah, I just did that.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. All right, I understand. You felt the same way too, Charles?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and you scored 2.
Yeah.
What game was that?
I scored 1 in the second game, I think. And I scored 1 from a corner. I shot it and I hit off the keeper and went in.
Oh, nice. Can you explain yours too, Jonathan? Your goal?
So it was a penalty, and I did a run up with the person who was taking it. And unfortunately, he missed, but I was there for the rebound, so I scored.
Awesome. I like that. Good stuff. Good stuff. I like that. So, how did it feel? How did you both feel representing your team and your country in this international, on this international stage, I should say?
We felt proud because we were representing our country, and then we try our hardest to win some games.
Yeah. And what about you, Jonathan?
Again, we were very proud, and it was a very good experience to go and see how other teams played, their formations, their tactics, and how they played the game in their country.
All right. Which teams did you find most challenging to play against?
The ones that could pass really well, and the ones that could run really fast.
Like, which teams were they? Do you remember?
Like the ones that actually are from Portugal.
Okay.
The one that regions on their pitches.
You guys also played against Egypt, Mongolia,
Yeah.
Portugal. Who else?
Canada.
Canada.
They're teams from all around the world.
Spain.
So how many games did you all play in total?
We played 4.
4 games
Yeah.
in total. The under 10s.
Yeah, the under 10s.
And what about the under 12s? How many games did you
The
play?
under 12s played 5 games.
5 games?
I'm sure.
All right. Did you guys go advance further?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So that explains that one extra game, I guess.
The one extra game,
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome. What about you, Coach Chelsea? Did you attend with them?
Yes.
Yeah. What was that experience like?
It was a really good experience. My first time actually going to the Iber Cup.
Okay.
Definitely seeing the different teams from all over the world.
Okay.
Compared to previous competitions that we've competed in.
Yeah.
This one definitely, it was an eye opener.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because just the different style, as they were saying, the style of play was different, especially like the Spanish teams, like you can just see that they all knew each other. They all had that chemistry and stuff.
They all
like
live
that.
together, probably.
Exactly. So on the field, it's gonna be a different ball game. So
most likely. And how did the Iber Cup differ from your regular coaching experience, you think? Which before you answer that, which team did you coach? Under 10 or 12?
Well, I was between the both both teams. I was the team manager for the teams. Coach Alex was the coach for the U10s, and Coach Bruno, he was the coach for the U12s.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was just between the two teams.
Okay, so could you still answer the difference from regular coaching experiences? How did it differ at the Iber Cup?
I would say that, it takes a lot of experience to do, to be coaching at that level.
Yeah.
And to be taking two teams to compete at that level as well. So just to see, how other coaches are with their teams as well, that definitely showed me that, still, maybe I still have some work to do.
Okay, awesome. It's a learning experience for you too, right?
Definitely.
You don't mind me asking how old you are?
I'm 27.
27, see? Very young.
Yes.
You have a lot more to go?
Yeah.
Good. This was a fantastic experience for you.
Definitely.
Okay, awesome. And kids, what about you? Did you learn any new skills or techniques watching those other players?
Yes, we learned how to pass the ball better, and we needed more team chemistry.
Oh. Can you explain a little bit more when you say you need more team chemistry?
Because in some trainings that we did, people, when they got mad, they wanted to, get the ball and be more rough with each other.
Oh, okay. Some of your teammates?
Yeah.
Who's the captain of the team?
JJ or Isaiah.
Okay. So how did you guys handle a situation like that? When teammates get so upset and you try to calm them down, what do you do in a time like that?
We take a water break and talk about what we did wrong.
Okay. And Jonathan?
When those type of things happen, it's like we have to adjust quickly, and once it's like what Charles said, once it's water break or halftime, we speak about it, and in the next half, we try and improve on it.
Awesome. What was your favorite off-the-field activity, during the tournament?
We went to Cristiano Ronaldo's old house in Portugal, Madeira.
Did he happen to be there?
Not Madeira. No, he wasn't there.
What?
Because he was in Germany playing a tournament.
Come on, he could have come back home for this. Do you like Cristiano Ronaldo?
Yeah, he's my favorite player.
He is?
Yeah.
Oh, somebody's shaking their head and saying no. Oh, yeah, there's got to be some war up in here.
He inspired me. He inspired me to play better and better.
He does?
Yes.
What is it about Ronaldo you like?
That his work ethic is really good, and he's always training, and he's super strong because he always is in the gym and eats healthy.
I like that. Very good. Very good observation. And what about you, Jonathan? I see you shaking your head. What professional player inspires you and why?
My favorite football player is Messi.
Okay,
and the reason why is because he's very humble. He is a trophy winner, and even though he loses sometimes, he never backs down, and he tries to win again and again and again, and that's why he has
I would give him that.
International trophies as well as domestic trophies.
I would give him that. He tries again and again and again. He finally got it.
Right.
And what about you, Coach?
Well,
female or male football players that you look up to?
Okay, for male, I'm gonna say Cristiano Ronaldo. Always has been, and I would say definitely his work ethic. He never stops training. I mean, I've never seen a player, even when he's on vacation, he's still training.
Yeah.
So
true.
Definitely.
Very dedicated.
Yeah. Something to look.
Any female football players?
I like all of the players from the U.S.
team.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. We've had one here before, but it's a Chelsea Green that brings them here for her
I believe.
Yeah, for her tournament, we've had one or two play of the U.S. team here. That was an amazing experience. Okay, so we're going to go back to the two boys sitting here. I know you were talking a little bit about your team and you know, sometimes when things don't go your team way, you know, the little arguments you may have or the bickering or, you know, it's a sign of frustration, right? Let's talk about the positive side now. Team camaraderie. What's your team camaraderie like? You understand what I mean when I say camaraderie? Like the togetherness and the bonding of your team. What is that like?
When we like do a great play, like we do a good set of passes and the coaches clap for us and we're doing really good.
Okay, awesome.
For me, it's especially when we do a good job on a possession and we score. We all like to do a certain thing after, and we always like help each other in a good way, and yeah, that's it.
See, that's good, right? That outweighs the little bickering when y'all don't get your way, right? Okay, all right. So, which team were you most excited to play against? Because you played 4 and you played 5.
For me, it's probably the Egyptian team because they came from really far away, and I've never been to like so far in Africa.
Or did you speak to them?
No, because they were speaking
A different language?
Yeah.
So you didn't learn anything in Egyptian?
No.
No?
Egyptian's really hard to speak.
I'm sure it is, but one word. One word is all you need, right? Yes. Hello. What is hello? Do you remember hearing anything? I don't know. No, I'm just asking you because you were closer to them than I were.
No.
No? Okay, that's okay. That's okay. What about you, Jonathan?
So one of my favorite parts was it was when my favorite game of the tournament was against the Mongolian team.
Okay.
Because again, they also came from a far place in the world, and it was our first game, so we were looking up to it, and we played our hearts out for that game, and we even tried to communicate with them, and one of their players had the same name as one of our players.
Really? What's that name?
Johnny.
Johnny. Oh.
Yes, that's true.
Okay. So you have a player, there's Jonathan and a Johnny.
Yes.
Okay. I thought it was what they call you. No? Okay. Awesome. All right. So, Coach, what did you learn from observing? Because you're 27, and this was a big experience for you. What did you learn from observing other teams and coaches during the IBA Cup?
I learned that, you know, it takes a lot of preparation for these tournaments. You can see by the way that the teams carry themselves, like they're all professional, you know, they all do the warm-ups the same. No one is out of sync, you know.
Wow.
So even like how the coaches are with the kids as well, they really do get down to their level and really get to understand the kids and stuff. And I think that's where the respect comes like from the players as well. So
awesome. What match stood out to you, Coach?
The match, I would say the U12's first game that they played against Mongolia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I was actually very
amazed.
I was shocked. Yeah. I was so shocked. I mean, we had about 3 or 4 different players scoring in that game, and I was like, wow, like this is amazing to see.
Yeah.
All of our hard work and training and everything.
And I was looking back on the ESM page on. Can you refrain from breathing into the mic?
What?
Could you stop breathing into the mic for me? All right, thank you so much. All right, so I was looking back on the Instagram page and I saw the results of the games that you guys played. You guys won a lot of games. Yeah. That was extremely impressive to see our little island travel all the way to Portugal. We beat Mongolia. We beat.
It was a Canadian.
We beat the Canada team as well. There was another team, Portugal. You beat
Portugal,
Portugal.
yeah.
The under 12 and the under 10s.
Yes.
All right. You lost to them at first. Somebody
Yeah,
lost to them first.
Yeah, someone.
I think it was the under 12s. May have lost to them first, or was it the under 10s?
Well, the U12s, they won 3 games.
Games straight.
Straight.
Awesome. See?
Yeah.
That's incredible, eh? How do you view that? Like, what do you think when you see stuff like that? Our little island traveling all the way to Portugal and
Speechless.
yeah, had to be.
Speechless.
Yeah, had to be. What
Yeah.
do you guys think of that? You guys came from far too, you know, not just Mongolia and Egypt. You
Right.
guys came from far as well, from the Caribbean, the Cayman Islands, and you performed so well against teams that you would think would not be able to beat you, but you beat them. What were your views on that? How did you feel about that?
We felt nervous to play from teams from far away because
Yeah.
we never played teams from different
Right,
countries.
right.
From some countries we played against before, but some we didn't.
Okay. Jonathan, you want to share?
For me, I felt nervous because I thought maybe what if they were playing better at that time? What if everyone else was nervous and collapsed under the pressure? But then once we got on the pitch, it was like we already came on to Portugal, and it's not like we can just back out of it right now. So we sort of had to just play football the way we always played it, and I think that's why we played so good.
I like this child. I like these two kids are amazing.
Love it.
The football language. Yeah, I like it. Good stuff. I'm impressed. Mom and Dad sitting out there, if you can hear me, I know you're impressed. This is good stuff. What inspired you both to play football?
My main inspiration was Cristiano Ronaldo
Oh, yes, I should have known that. Go ahead.
because his work ethic, and I loved watching him scoring goals as a kid. And I love scoring goals, and I love giving assists.
That's a very good player to look up to. He's amazing.
So what motivated me to play football was firstly my dad,
Okay.
because he played football and he was very, very good at it. And the second reason might sound funny, but my dad also played a game. It was FIFA, and I loved it. That's why I really know so much about football right now. And I was like, if they can pick up a ball and do it, then I could just do it too. So I was like, I got a ball and I got a crate, and I used it every day trying to hit the ball in the crate. And that's what motivated me.
Okay. So your dad played football as well. Do you know what team he played for?
It was a Caymanian team. I think it was a Roma and another team. I forgot about it.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. How do you both mentally prepare for a challenging game or a game period? How do you prepare for that mentally before a game?
Before a game, I usually take deep breaths right before. I usually take kickoff, so before I take kickoff, I take some deep breaths before I start the game off.
Okay, Jonathan?
What I do, I like to sort of relax and chill out so that I don't have so much adrenaline and I'm not trying to rush and panic.
Awesome. What's the most memorable goal you've each scored? It could be this tournament, it could be the last one. The most memorable goal you've scored. The one that just you will never forget.
Mine was in Minnesota, my first tournament,
Okay.
and I was really excited to go in that tournament. So we played against this team. We were 2-0 down, and then I scored one goal by like a volley, I think.
Okay.
On the keeper, and we tried our best to come back, but we couldn't, and we lost 2-1.
Okay, unfortunate, but okay. At least you scored a goal.
Yep.
Yeah. Memorable one at that.
I don't really remember a memorable one.
Okay. And which position? Which position do you enjoy playing the most, Jonathan?
I enjoy playing 2 positions. It is center back and right wing.
Okay. And Charles, what position do you enjoy playing?
I like playing on the wings, striker, or sometimes I like to play midfield.
Awesome. And how do you balance schoolwork and training, football training?
Because when I have school in the morning, then before football, I always do my homework.
Okay.
And then if I do half of my homework before football starts, and after football, I finish my homework in the night.
Go ahead, Jenna.
How I balance football and schoolwork is I go to school, and when I get homework, I would rather go to football training, and when I'm done, when I'm home, I would rather do the homework.
Do your homework after, because sometimes that works, right? Your mind is free. Sometimes we need to kick the ball in order to just relax and come back home and do the football. Parents might not always understand that, but when they were younger, they understood it then. Okay, I'm kidding. Let me not be bad. All right, okay. Alrighty, so any advice do you both have for, players your age that are trying to go to Portugal and play?
My advice is to never give up, and even if you fail something, keep on trying. And if you have any free time, you should go outside and play football as much as you can.
Awesome.
My advice is that you should always keep your head up and never put it down, because when you put it down, you're going to start doubting yourself, and all these things are going to start coming in your head. And also, I always say that success doesn't really come with one day of work. So if you want to be good at something, you really have to put your head to it, and you have to work for it.
Okay. You know what? I'm taking these kids home. All right, I like it. Jonathan and Charles, you were absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for coming on Radio Cayman Sports Extra. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank you. And Coach, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah, all right.
Thank
you guys take care, and all the best throughout the season. All right? So we're going to be back with basketball. Stay tuned.
Find your dream car with a Cayman National Vehicle Loan. Enjoy 100% financing, up to 8-year repayment, and a 7% fixed interest rate for the first 5 years. For eco-friendly cars, we'll waive your commitment fee. This only applies to new vehicles. Call 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
Start your day in the know. Don't miss a beat. Radio Cayman's 7 a.m. news keeps you informed every Monday through Saturday at 7 a.m. Brought to you by Cayman National, proudly serving the Cayman Islands since 1974. Water Authority Cayman would like to advise its valued customers that its Cayman BRAC Customer Service Office will temporarily close from 12 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. on Wednesday, July 17th to facilitate a staff event. The authority apologizes for any inconvenience this may cause and appreciates the public's understanding.
The Ministry of Education and the Passport and Corporate Services Office remind all students traveling to and from school overseas to ensure their passports are valid for both travel and entry into their destination country. Passports should be renewed at least 10 weeks before departure, and any necessary student visas must be obtained. For passport services, contact the Passport and Corporate Services Office at 649-7678. For Ministry of Education scholarship inquiries, contact scholarships@gov.ky. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Education and the Passport and Corporate Services Office.
HSA's Urgent Care Clinic is now open 7 days per week to serve you better. Visit our dedicated team at Urgent Care Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and weekends and public holidays, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. No appointment necessary. If you are experiencing non-life-threatening symptoms and conditions such as the cold and flu, sprains and cuts, earaches, nausea and vomiting, visit Urgent Care's walk-in clinic at the main entrance of the Georgetown Hospital, now open every day. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Covering Little Cayman, Cayman Bride.
Cover me. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Okay, welcome back to Radio Cayman Sports Extra. What a wonderful group of young men we had just now in the studio. Did you listen? You heard them?
Yeah, I heard them.
Oh, they were great.
I mean, I was, they kind of rushed out quickly. I was going to ask for an autograph.
Yeah,
I was going to ask them for their autograph.
That was amazing. So, but, we're going to transition from football to basketball. And we have our under-23 boys and girls heading off to Mexico this weekend for the Nations League, the 3x3 under-23 Nations League tournament. That's going to be huge for Cayman. The last time we went, I think, was last November in Puerto Rico with the seniors, right? Okay, so what are the expectations for our national under-23 girls and boys in this Nations League tournament?
Well, I think it's important to, let everybody know that this is something that's historic because it's the first time ever in our existence that we're going to be taking part in this tournament. Last year,
this age group, yes.
Yeah, for this age group. Last year was the first time in the 3x3 AmeriCup for the senior divisions. And so, of course, that was a learning experience, right? It's because 3x3 is even though there are some similarities, there's a bit of differences, I think, in terms of some of the physicality of the game and things like that. And you realize the level of fitness that you need for 3x3. It's very high. And so, but it was a very good experience. Matter of fact, we almost beat our men's team. We almost beat St. Lucia, who was ranked. I think they're first in the Caribbean there. So that was good. And now it's the under-23 Nations League, and this is a World Cup qualifying event. So qualifying teams will end up going to the FIBA 3x3 World Cup, under-23 World Cup in Mongolia in September. Okay. But in terms of our expectations, really, it is we're going out there to make noise. We're going out there to let our game speak for itself, to let people know Cayman is here and we're here to compete, and I think that we can compete with anybody in the world. We are still a growing program, of course, but at the end of the day, I think, to be quite honest, there's really not that much pressure on us. When you're playing against teams such as the United States, so the people in our zone are USA, right, Puerto Rico, Argentina, Chile, Mexico. Ooh. Right. Big programs.
Mexico alone.
And I would have given anything to go up against those guys, to be honest. Yeah. I'm a bit jealous in that sense. So we get a chance to really just test our mettle against some of the top programs in our zone, of course, in the FIBA Americas. This is where we're competing. And we found out that, I guess I don't want to go on too much about it, but like I said, what we're really aiming to do here is we're going to fight tooth and nail. We are going to compete. We want to go there and show everybody that there's good basketball in the Cayman Islands. And even though we're such a small place, we're a little dot on the map, we can pack a punch. So we're looking forward to it.
How has our two teams been, preparing for this tournament?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, pretty much for the last 2 months in particular, because the majority of the players were away. So we had to wait till they got back, and then we pretty much got into a solid 8-week program, focusing a lot on fitness initially, and then just doing a whole lot of skill work, and focusing on a lot of screen and roll. One thing that's beautiful about 3x3 basketball, I find in particular, is, you really want to learn to utilize screen and roll. It's the most important play in offense in basketball.
Right.
So, and that transitions right over into 5-on-5. It doesn't matter. So we've been focusing a lot on your options in a screen and roll, how to really execute. And then, of course, how do you make stops strategically? How do you use your timeouts? Mm-hmm. When should be the best time to sub? So these last the last couple of weeks have been a lot more on strategy now as we're looking to go out there.
Awesome. What challenges do you anticipate, especially with the level of competition that they're going to face?
Well, that is pretty much it, to be honest, in terms of we know that we're playing against some teams that have lots and lots of experience in it. And so, of course, it's not just about your ability to play, but also your experience in knowing how and when to do certain things.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that. I mean, I think because we don't know the rosters, there's only so much that you can plan for at this point. I think over the next few days we'll get to actually see who we're competing against, because then that helps you in terms of your lineup and your strategy. You know, knowing, okay, do they have a certain amount of players at this particular height?
Right.
You know, that kind of thing. But in general, it's about educating your players how to play.
Yes.
And with basketball, it comes down to a point where you have to learn to read and react.
Right.
Read what's happening, and there's always an option that opens up, and you as the player now have to make that decision.
It's just a quicker decision because it's 3x3. Right?
And it's a 12-second shot clock.
Yeah.
Right? So normally in regular basketball, it's a 24-second shot clock, but in 3x3, you have a 12-second shot clock.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Intense.
So it is very intense. It's fast. You don't have time to beat up on yourself. You know, if you miss a shot you know you should have made, you don't have time for any of that. It's just you got to turn right around and say, okay, I got to make up for it. Let's go. Time for defense.
Yeah, definitely. Who are our teams? Or the players on the teams? Who are they?
Right. So for our women's team, we have Leandra Watson.
Okay.
We have LaShante Robinson. We have Jamie Rankin.
Okay.
We have Zandy Smith and Arlene Ebanks.
Okay.
All right, that's our 5 for the women. And for the men, we have Alwyn Buttram Jr.
Okay.
We have Brian Ebanks. We have Nathaniel Anderson. All right, we have Javonte Woolery.
Okay.
And we have Lance Welcome.
And Lance Welcome.
Yeah. So we got a nice young bunch. Nobody is over 21 years old, I don't think.
Wow.
And this is an under 23 competition.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, we realize that in a sense this is called you're playing up. Right? You're playing up in terms of the age group. But an advantage that we have in that is that we also have these players can actually compete for another 2 years, another 2 to 3 years in this competition. So I think with us continuing to gain experience, and you take another look at this team in the next 2-3 years, I think it's going to be very scary.
I think so too, and they're already very good. I've seen them in action.
Yeah, and they can play. They can play. So, and we've had to help prepare as well. We've had a lot of 3x3 tournaments like weekly for the past several weeks. So you know, inviting players from all over the island to come and compete. Again, get that feel, and the players get that chance to build their chemistry and really put it out there on the court.
Mr. Anglin, how important is this tournament as a pathway for young players to showcase their talent?
Oh, it's very important because, 3x3 is actually the fastest growing segment, so to speak, of basketball.
Okay.
It's the most popular form right now, of course, because it appeals to even for your more seasoned veterans that can't get up and down the court, but tell you what, they'll play some half court now, right? So 3x3 is very fun. It's brought a lot of even more life back into the sport. It's expanded the membership tremendously. So now, and of course, FIBA 3x3 is an Olympic sport.
Yes,
it's an Olympic sport, and what FIBA has really been trying to emphasize with smaller countries like ours is that 3x3 actually gives you an even better chance to make it to the Olympics, because you have what I always talk about called the population probability, right? If you have a country that has 2 million people, it's a lot easier for you, if you're looking for a certain prototype of a player, it's easier for you to find that in 2 million people versus not, and I wouldn't even say 80,000 in terms of people that have Cayman passports, maybe 40 to 50,000, maybe, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of people that would qualify for FIBA tournaments, so you have a much smaller pool, and when you're going up against teams like Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, etc., you can't just have 3 or 4 exceptional players. You need 10 to 12, right? When you're competing at that level. So when you have 3x3 now, if you do have 3 or 4 exceptional players, they could beat anybody, right? It's an even bigger chance for you to beat them. So if you notice with the Cayman Islands in sports, in a lot of individual sports, you'll see Cayman more at the Olympic level, because traditionally we have always been able to produce 1 or 2 or 3 athletes in a particular age group that can compete with anybody in the world.
Right.
So 3x3 gives us that stage to do that.
Awesome. And how has the team adjusted to the unique format of 3x3 basketball compared to the traditional 5-on-5?
I think that they're embracing it. Well, I know we have a couple of players that absolutely love it because they actually love the spacing. The fact that it's not
crowded.
Yeah, it's not as crowded
Yeah.
when you got 10 players, playing in the half court versus you got 6. That gives you a lot more space to operate and stuff. So, and like I said, I think we've been really trying to emphasize with our players learning to fall in love with screen and roll, because in the Caribbean, because Caribbean people are so naturally athletic, we are normally the most athletic in the world.
Right.
But because of our athleticism, we tend to want to go a lot more one-on-one.
Right.
Because we have that athleticism, right? So what we're trying to teach is that, look, if you learn to love screen and roll and you combine that with our athleticism, unstoppable.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
And joining us right now is Jason Campbell. And Jason, I didn't get your title pertaining to this, but I'm thinking it's more organizer, promoter.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
awesome.
ma'am. Thank you for having me.
And former national athlete, one of our most incredible basketballers as well. Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I was about to make mention of that, and
Thank
I
you
was
very
also about to ask you if you've tried 3-on-3 yet.
Not in the form of what they have now.
Right.
Before, of course, playing a lot of 3-on-3. But to do the tournament that they have now, that would have been amazing. Because like he mentioned, the spacing, for a point guard like me to have that
And
spacing,
the speed he had, and
man.
the agility,
It would have been amazing. I would love to join it, to be honest.
Yeah. I think that's good. Yeah.
We're gonna have a. How old are you now, Jason?
38.
Okay, all right.
So we have a veterans league.
So yeah, I mean, we plan on adding one for some of the seasoned players.
Yeah.
Adding a category there, because again, it's about keeping our more seasoned veterans, the aging population, so to speak.
Yeah.
You want to keep them active, and so of course, right now we ain't got time to be chasing around 21-year-olds, right?
No.
So but we still want to compete. So it's good to try to keep those age groups to keep that happening.
For sure.
And I know this weekend we have the House of Handles basketball camp, and you're a part of this camp.
Right.
And
correct.
we're supposed to have the legendary street baller Hot Sauce that's going to be coming on island. And I was just letting the public know, if you don't know about Hot Sauce, you need to Google. Or YouTube him, whatever it is you need to do. You watch this guy, and I know you're going to send your child to that camp.
For sure.
Right? He was amazing. He is amazing.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about how did the idea of the House of Handles basketball camp come about, and what inspired the collaboration between you two?
Okay. Well, Hot Sauce and the An1 tour, they toured the Cayman Islands back in about 2001.
Mm-hmm.
And
Colin have a story to tell.
yeah, for sure, because we were part of that.
Yeah, exactly.
That event, and we managed to have the opportunity to play them. So during that connection of having the opportunity to play them, I managed to connect with Hot Sauce.
Okay.
And we were just having some conversations, even about the time being here in the Cayman Islands and what he experienced.
Okay.
And he introduced me to his House of Handles camp that he has going around
the world.
Right now, he's coming back from New Mexico.
Okay.
Right. So, and he's on his way to here to the islands, and definitely just being able to have the opportunity to collaborate with someone that has ties to the Cayman Islands and giving back to giving opportunities to younger kids as well.
Mm-hmm.
I know what that done for me as a basketball player, because even in the game right now, we see what they know, because they're fundamentally sound and they know the game.
Right.
So when they can teach us, especially the players in islands, that especially point guards, because I'm thinking from a point guard perspective.
Yes.
Right, and he's a point guard. So to teach our kids here in the islands, give them the opportunity to showcase their talent is something that I was like enthused about, and I was like, definitely that would be something.
I sent the flyer around, and
thank you sincerely.
Tristan Wessenhagen got back to me. He's like, hot sauce? What?
Yeah.
He called me immediately. He said, I'm leaving the island today. Not fair. He's like, that man is amazing. I would have done anything to be in that camp just watching.
Yeah.
To see what those kids are going to, how they're going to flourish throughout the camp itself, what they're going to learn,
Right.
especially from his perspective as a guard. I think that's amazing.
Thank
that's
you
pretty
sincerely.
good. People know Jason as Janez, the musician.
Yes.
They don't know
Correct.
you as
Jason
one of
Campbell.
our greatest point guards
Thank you.
on the island.
Yep.
They don't
Thank
know
you.
you as that. All right? They don't
Thank
know
you
that.
sincerely.
Blazers?
Georgetown.
Georgetown.
Yeah. We was even
With Warriors.
Warriors. Oh man, it was.
He wore many jerseys. He's a little like LeBron. But that's okay.
Yes.
He's a better player though.
And
He's a better player than LeBron.
Yeah, thank you. I sincerely appreciate that. And I believe that too. If I had the chance, I would have beat him one-on-one.
I mean, seriously, because like I said, Jason, incredibly athletic.
Yes.
So, I mean, his first step, you had to give him all kinds of space, and then he could hit the shot.
Yes.
So he had the outside game, and then he could beat you off the dribble anytime he wants to, and good decision. So he was the very difficult guy to guard. Very difficult.
Thank you. Yeah.
What can campers expect from this camp experience?
So with this camp experience, is definitely teaching the basics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even up to the pro level of thinking of playing the sport, dribbling, shooting, defense, a lot of, fundamentally sound things,
Yes.
especially for the kids, because, they're not that advanced with thinking with certain,
Thinking the game, yeah. Not
thinking
yet.
the game, not yet. So it comes with a bit of, mentorship too as well. Let them know, like, they have opportunities, the
Definitely.
thing that they see on TV, the LeBrons, the Kobes,
Yeah.
they'll be able to say, I can do that too,
Right.
as well.
The Currys. Which is
The
what
Currys.
everybody wants to be Curry
Oh,
now.
man. Yeah, for real.
So the camp is this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday
And
at
Sunday.
King's Sports Center.
Correct.
Is it $75 a day or $75 for the entire camp?
For the total.
Wow.
Total for the whole camp.
That's
correct.
That's real reasonable.
Yeah. The thought behind that too as well. I mean, I know with the island we've been going through some tough times, previously too as well. And I felt it would to be, to help everyone and to make this camp a success. Just decided that we can, make it that price friendly.
Oh, that's pretty nice. And it's
Thank you.
for ages 10 to 19?
To 19, correct.
Okay,
Boys
awesome.
and girls.
Boys and girls.
Correct.
And you don't have to have no big set of skills to be there.
No.
Anyone is welcome.
Anyone.
Okay. All right, sounds good. We're going to take a short break.
Thank you.
Very short break, hopefully. And we'll get back to you guys in a minute. Stay tuned.
A caring and community spirit, cherished family and cultural values. These are some of the things that still embodies the Caymanian way of life in the Eastern Districts today. Savannah Pharmacy, your neighborhood pharmacy, located in Countryside Shopping Village, is delighted to offer products and services of real value. Whether it's catering to your family's medical needs or carrying apparel, gifts, and beauty products, Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they're always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
Prescription refills made easy at Savannah Pharmacy. WhatsApp your prescription refills to 929-5045.
Our rich and diverse natural environment is one of our most important assets. Strong coral reefs are our first line of defense against intense storm waves. Healthy seagrass beds and mangrove forests provide a nursery for the sea creatures we depend on, while our native forests stimulate our rain cycles and help to control inland flooding. Economic resilience requires environmental resilience.
The 7 a.m. Sports Report, brought to you by Dr. Wayne Porter, offering a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. Call 946-9020 to book your appointment today.
Yesterday,
Today,
always and forever.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
All right, we're chatting here with Jason Campbell, a.k.a. Janez.
Hey.
All right, we may ask him to sing a song or two before we leave. And we have Colin Anglin, the president for basketball. And we're talking 3x3 basketball. We have 2 teams heading to Mexico. And we have Hot Sauce that's coming here for his House of Handles basketball camp this weekend. All right, so before we head back to Mr. Anglin, Jason,
Yes.
what do I call you? Do you want me to call you Janez? Is that because, people
anything
don't know
you
you as
prefer.
Jason no more?
I mean, to be honest, I have so much names. I don't mind.
Janizzle?
Janizy, all kind of different names, so I don't mind at all.
All right. Could you share some details about the camp, the schedule, the training sessions, whatever workshops you may be having?
Okay, so the camp will be starting at 8:30 in the morning until 1 p.m. throughout the day at the King Sports Center. And different things, like I said, we're going to be teaching shooting, dribbling, passing. So most of the fundamental things that kids can get grasp and understand throughout the day.
Okay, awesome.
I think something that people need to remember about camps like these, and when you have people like Hot Sauce coming, is we know that that we do work, our fundamentals, and which is critical for a proper foundation, right? A lot of times, like I said, they see Steph Curry turning around, fading away, hitting those threes from 50 feet. They don't realize that he's put in thousands of hours of core fundamental work.
Yes.
If that is not there properly, if you don't have that properly laid, you can't get to that point where you see Steph Curry doing that turnaround. He was doing a lot of balanced shots. He shot thousands of them, right?
Correct.
But the other thing too, with, like I said, with guys like Hot Sauce, is, in one word, insight.
Yes.
When you have guys that are very, very experienced, been around the world, and achieved the success that he has, there's a certain level of insight that the average person does not have.
Right.
So even though you're getting a drill, you might be getting a dribbling drill, but you're going to hear some little tips and pointers from him, some insights from him that you don't normally hear from most other people, right? Because again, he's not an average point guard. And so then he's able to give you some insight from his own experience and success and things that he's learned too from traveling around the world and combining and building his game. You get to now drink the milk from that, so to speak, right? So that kind of insight, getting that from different people with that level of success, is, you can't pay money for that. There's
definitely.
Yeah.
Will there be opportunities for campus to interact with Hot Sauce during the training sessions?
Yes, for sure. That's what it's about, interacting, like you mentioned, getting a lot of insight about what to do and what not to do, how to get better, and things of that nature. Still, definitely, that's all about the camp.
Okay. And Mr. Anglin, when do you all leave?
Sunday.
You leave on Sunday.
The 21st, yep.
And what's your schedule like? Is it every day there'll be a game?
Yeah, so the tournament takes place 22nd through the 28th. So we play 22nd, 23rd, 24th. There's a rest day on the 25th. Then we play the 26th, 27th, 28th. So we make actually 6 stops there in Mexico City.
And you were saying this is a qualifier for Mongolia?
It's a World Cup qualifier, for
Mongolia.
for the Under-23 World Cup.
So
right.
who gets to go through to that? The top 3, the only one team, the number 1 team, do you know?
I got to confirm that with you. I know usually at least it's the top 2, I think.
Top 2, okay.
And there may be a wild card that might get in with that as well. And whoever's successful then will be in the FIBA Under-23 World Cup in Mongolia, which is September, I think, 11th to the 19th.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
What message would you like to convey to our players and, of course, our fans as our players represent Cayman in Mexico?
That, just give them support. You'll be able to go online and be able to watch us play. So let us feel the love no matter where you are, no matter what's going on. And just send them encouragement, because like I said, we are sending a young team. But again, you also have to build for the future, right? I remember when our first national team started, man, we took some licks. When we were 4, I remember we lost our first 14 international games. But man, we played and played. But as our age group came to the top where we were the oldest in that age group.
Yes.
Then we started winning. We did things like beat Jamaica, which was beating them in team sports was like unheard of.
Right.
Right. And we were one of the first teams that did that. But that's part of building towards a future, continuing to gain experience and all of that. So I think our teams have a bright future. I want to encourage everybody to support them. They're blazing a trail for the younger ones to follow. They're seeing if they put in the hard work, etc., what that can lead to. We're showing the rest of the world that, hey, you know what, the Cayman Islands has good players. And then you'll have other things like, college coaches or people from other countries that are going to be like, hey, you know what, do you have any players you can send? I'm already starting to get some emails.
Yeah, and there's scouts there as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of scouts are there at the 3-on-3 tournament.
Yeah, they're watching. They're watching. So this is opening up the doors to the basketball world. Most of the time, it's kind of like with football, a lot of times people just think the Premier League, but there's so much more in terms of opportunities out there. There's a whole world of basketball. So there are lots of other leagues and professional leagues and stuff that you could play in. You don't know who's going to see you and say, hey, somebody might come and talk to you and say, hey, you know what? How about, you come try out for my professional team, or I like what I see.
Yeah.
Might be a college coach and say, hey, who are you playing for right now? You never know.
Right.
So it's just the start of many more good things to come.
Awesome. And Jason, any messages that you would like to give to the aspiring young players that are considering attending the House of Handles basketball camp this weekend?
Definitely. All of the basketball lovers, definitely, if you're in love with basketball and want to become better at basketball, and definitely this camp is for you. And like I said, it ranges from 10 all the way to 19 years old. And come out and have fun. Definitely. It will be something that you would gain some great experiences from.
I know it's 8 o'clock, but I really want Colin to share that story about white chocolate.
Yeah.
Okay, so really quickly. So we were out there by the basketball court where Cox Lumber used to be, right? Across from Kirk Supermarket. And so, of course, and one team was down because they came to play an exhibition match against us. And so, I'm hearing Coach Wood and White Chocolate going at it. They're mouthing off, talking some trash. That's all in fun, right? Friendly, yeah. And so I hear him coach and say, "What? I tell you right now, you'll never win." And I'm like, "Listen to this guy. He's getting ready to take on White Chocolate. So you ready? You'll never win. Colin, come." I was like, "What?" Right. So there he is. He throws me into this one-on-one with White Chocolate, right? And so we start playing. Of course, White Chocolate is not lacking confidence, right? Yeah. So there he is. Yeah, come on, let's play. We're gonna play game three, and then he's like, you take the ball first. So I know he's underestimating me, which is good. I like that. Yeah. So I make my first move and I score, and then he goes, all right, game five. All right. So then we start playing, and then he realizes I can jump. So now. Then he adds another rule and he goes, okay, you want to get one shot. You can't get an offensive rebound. I'm like, what? So he starts adding all these rules in. Rules. But I kept going. So I'm at 4. Game 7. Okay, we play again. I get to 6. I have him like 6-3. Game 11. I'm like, come on. It was a message there that night, that he thought he was just gonna have his way.
I remember that night. I was right there, and I tell you, it was such a great spot because I don't think anyone knew the AND1 players were going to be there that night. Right. They saw you guys training, and someone drove them there, and they came out, and the crowd was amazing, and it got even bigger as the people in the environment in the district
area.
Itself, that area.
Cox was the place to be.
Cox was the place to be and to play ball. So when they saw that, they themselves came on and they were cheering Colin on. I remember that.
Yeah, man.
And he was a little embarrassed.
Yeah, for sure. He was. And then we played him at the Lion Center a night or two later and stuff, and that was a fantastic crowd there.
It was amazing.
I think I might have dropped like 30 on him that night or something. Yeah. And then, you know what? About 2 weeks later, I saw White Chocolate on TV winning $50,000 in some tournament somewhere around the world. So I was like,
that could have been you.
There we go, right? So I was like, that was my $50,000. Right?
Exactly. All right. Thank you so much for sharing that story. I appreciate you. Jason, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
This is great. I wish you all the best with this camp. I hope all the kids come out. I hope they hear this interview and they come out and support the camp and witness greatness in yourself. And of course, hot sauce. All right. So That's it for Sports Extra for tonight. That'll do it for tonight's edition. Please email me if you have any questions about the show, you would like to be a part of the show. Email me, sportsextrakman@gmail.com. You can also check out our Radio Cayman Sports Extra social media pages. We also have a YouTube channel. You can check that out. Also, a special thank you to our sponsor, Savannah Pharmacy in Countryside Village. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, I'm Dionne Anglin. Thank you so much for listening. Good night and God bless.